took us a long time to find, first of all, good name, and after the logo. We find some names which we really liked, but they were already taken.
We liked it because it had a very strong feel to it and a very familiar feel to it as well.
My wife said, you are from Poland, so let's name our brewery Iron Curtain. I said, no, forget it. We cannot be this way, you know?
And all of our branding as far as the names of the beers have kind of followed suit with that kind of tongue-in-cheek, industrial revolutionary, kind of old world, Soviet without being political feel.
I'm just thinking iron. We actually really like iron because first that we choose another name with iron. But I said, what about Iron Fist? So I walked back to our room and said, Eve, what about Iron Fist? Never mind. For sure it's taken. First of all, this was our hobby, which we start brewing home, different styles of beer.
I got a phone call from my brother, who was with my dad at the time, and they said, hey, we're at Homebrew Mart. We just picked up a homebrew kit and we're going to start making our own beer. And it didn't take much arm twisting to get that going.
Do nothing without my family. So it was my parents-in-law, was us, my brother-in-law and his family, and of course Brandon and my older son Adrian.
So this is a family operation. My folks are actively involved in the business. They handle pretty much all of the business side and leave me to my own devices back here to keep the beer flowing. We
started this production 4 years ago, and we are still brewing.
There's no such thing as a perfect partnership, but I think ours is pretty damn close.
Most of that is done by hand. We are still small brewery, so we have grain.
We're not grinding the grain because if you grind it, you get flour, and when you mix flour with water, you get dough. And we're not a bakery, we're a brewery, so we can't really do much with dough.
This is process. It's not like you push the button and everything is done for you,
After we have it cracked, we mix it with hot water. That allows for a natural enzyme inside of the grain to become active and break down starches that naturally exist into sugars that can then be fermented.
So it's a lot of physical work still.
We use more hot water to rinse out as much of that sugar as possible into the brew kettle. Once it's in the brew kettle, we bring it to a nice 212-degree rolling boil for no less than an hour. That does a couple of things. With our hops, it allows us to extract the bitterness, the flavor, and aroma. We add hops at the beginning of the boil for the bitterness, and that will burn off all of the flavor and aroma, but it allows for the bitterness to become what is known as isomerized. So basically, it allows it to mix with the beer.
Each time you do it by yourself, like by hand, So this tastes much better, just tastes good.
After that, it cools down with a high-efficiency heat exchanger to our preferred fermentation temperature. We add the yeast to the beer. It starts to ferment immediately, and after it's done fermenting, we crash cool it for a period of no less than 2 weeks. This is a process that's commonly known as lagering.
This is art, yes. To produce beer is art.
We either fill flat beer with a little bit of fermentable sugar and a little bit of champagne yeast into bottles. What that allows us to do is for the flat beer to re-ferment in the bottle and create its own natural carbonation like what you would see in champagne.
Come, try it, and you're gonna love it, because we treat our customers like family.
And at that point we have beer that's ready to go on tap and into a pint glass.
Na zdrowie.
Ten inny ktoś z tego poznać się dał, że przyjemnie dość na gitarze grał, pieścił każdy ton na gitarze swej.